So in California, there was a leak of information. What ended up happening is that the California Attorney General's office somehow leaked all the names and addresses of thousands of gun owners across the state. The leak included the private information of 244 judges and 420 reserve officers and thousands of private civilians. And it also apparently included their race with it. The AG of California, Rob Bonta, issued a press release saying the new and updated firearms data available through the California Department of Justice's 2022 Firearms Dashboard portal. And he said that it puts power and information into the hands of our communities by helping them better understand the role and potential dangers of firearms within our state. So you were able to find all kinds of stuff on there. It was all over Reddit. People were searching themselves on Reddit. They said that they were going to investigate the exposure of people's information connected to the DOJ Firearms Dashboard. This is what happens when you have a registry. California, you have to register your guns in California. Now, I want all of the people who are supporting red flag laws to tell me that they don't think that that would be abused. All the people who want what they call, the phrase that they use, quote unquote, universal background checks, that is a long-winded phrase for national registry. Because you cannot have the quote unquote universal background checks without a national registry. The whole universal background check thing, they're trying to act like it's the legal private transfers that fuel crime, when in fact it's the black market. The DOJ back in 2016, and also there was a separate study in 2018, showed that anywhere from 77 to 79% of criminals obtain their firearms illegally in the black market. All of it's illegal. It's all still regulated. It doesn't matter if you're doing a legal transfer from legal possessor to legal possessor in your own state. That is still regulated federally because there's a federal penalty that is invoked when you don't abide by the law. This is what happens, like in California, when you got a registry. I was at some event and I met a gentleman who was able, it took him forever. He was a contractor, but he's a construction worker on a construction company, did a lot of work in LA. And he had been held up at gunpoint. He had been robbed, all kinds of stuff. People would go to the construction sites and try to strip stuff and steal stuff. And he was there early in the morning and sometimes late at night. And so he had to try a couple of different times at the sheriff's office, because California is a may issue, not a shall issue. It's not you shall be issued a license. It's you may be issued a license, maybe not. And he finally was able to get one. And he was also a veteran, all this stuff. Like he'd worked in, he's not some, dummy. He finally got one, and he actually showed me his card at this event. It was his license. And on the back, it gave the guns he has, what he's licensed for. They put that on your card. So it's in the registry. So the thing is not that the information wasn't out there. It's that they just decided to go out and leak it like that. And the other weird thing about it is that apparently it was reported that they had race. So if you were, a civilian, a judge, or a cop or whatever, whether you were Hispanic, black, white, etc., that was apparently also included, which is troubling. And of course it happens right after that Second Amendment case from the Supreme Court. Almost like it was punitive, wasn't it? Almost like it was punitive. And they try to hide behind this excuse of, well, we're trying to be more accessible and we're being transparent. You're not transparent with other people's stuff. This happened before in New York. You had a newspaper that had printed, this is a few years back, they printed a map showing the addresses of their concealed carry permit holders, the people who had permits to carry in New York. They had a paper that published this. So it was right around the time I think the New York SAFE Act was passed. I mean, that's terrifying. This is why we don't we don't have registries. We don't have registries. You have people who say that the same government that they were accusing of indiscriminately murdering minorities, you're also arguing that they should be the only entities that have guns? I saw over the last week after the Supreme Court case passed, all of these progressives, namely white progressives, were out there saying, oh, well, you're going to be okay with black people carrying guns or Hispanic people carrying guns? Yeah, and? The only people who've ever opposed that are white progressives. And yes, when Reagan banned open carry in California, that was a progressive move. Deal with it. It was.